At one level, the Awakening it's a worship service. It happens every week.
The Awakening is a place where students can become activated and empowered to be who they are.
I think for me, the Awakening is a place that God is active and Christianity is active and Christians are active. It's a place where things happen.
That was the first time that he was telling me about this idea of what the Awakening was, and at the time it wasn't called the Awakening. We didn't know what to call it. It was just we wanted to be a part of a worship experience on campus that was really getting us here, not just in the head.
I guess I'm trying to transition more into letting go of the Awakening and just appreciating the idea behind the Awakening, that sort of like open environment that anyone can be a part of and make something out of. And I don't know, I think it might be nearing its end.
Church, for some people, they feel like they've already answered lots of the questions of how church should be and what should happen. And the problem with that for me is that we keep it from becoming whoever's church it is now because it's the person's church from 30 years ago. And I'm not saying this is an old versus new. I'm saying that you may have tried it before and it may have failed and it may fail today. But if I don't get to try it and I don't get to fail, it'll never be my church.
Each group has to take on that new identity, or like that new ownership of it. Mm-hmm. Like, what is this going to be? How is this going to be meaningful? How is it going to be impactful? And people that loved the Awakening when it first started out probably wouldn't love it now. And people that love it now probably would have been like, this is weird at the first Awakening. You can teach what you know, but you reproduce who you are.
All the people who are involved, from the musicians to the sound people to the people who are doing our prayer meetings, to the community service people announcements, that it was their church and that they loved being there and they wanted other people to be there.
So many things like this on campus, on any campus, were cyclical, right? Where it would run its course, but it would, whatever it was, whatever movement it was, or group or club or whatever, had always, ceased to exist. Mm-hmm. Once its initial core leaders, graduated out.
I think part of the reason why it's tapering down is because the thing that has kept it going is like the initial passion of the people that started the Awakening 10 years ago. People like Troy and the leaders who have led Awakening in the past few years are people that witnessed it firsthand.
My entrance into leadership, I was on a campus that was now used to having Awakening as a regular part of a program, so it wasn't new to anybody. Right. It was an established thing.
That I remember times being behind this one point in time when the Holy Spirit was so palpable and people were just pouring their hearts out in the audience. They were singing so loud that I could hear the people singing louder than what was coming out of our amplified speakers and their monitors.
Troy and I had to attend a board meeting once, and I remember it was one of the professors of the school said this comment that haunted me for years. And she said, "We cannot allow these types of things to happen because we give our students the idea that they can have this when they leave and go into the real world. And they can't, and it's going to break their hearts." And I was so upset at the time. But later on, when I went into non-collegiate ministry and was out there, I saw that she had a lot of truth in what she was saying. Mm-hmm. And I began to question what we had done and question what I had been a part of. But then it dawned on me years and years later that the problem was not that we had done something wrong. The problem is that not enough of our churches are that way for these people.
I think the thing that keeps me going with Awakening is Saturday morning, is seeing like 200-300 people there to experience something, and being able to see that is what makes me the crazy person I am for showing up the next Friday.
People need to be ministered to. There's so much hunger, and it's still there. It's everywhere.